guys, my name is Lucy and welcome to my channel. Welcome, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Please do consider subscribing if you enjoy this video because it really helps me out. And if you guys enjoy this video, please do smash a big thumbs up to let me know. For today's video, I am going to be talking about the reality of online training for drama schools. So many of you guys have been messaging me over on my Instagram. You have been asking me when I've been doing my Q&As on my stories. You've been commenting on my videos asking what my honest opinion is on online drama school training. Now, if you guys have been watching my vlogs, you will know that I've been really trying to keep up my training as much as possible during lockdown, whether this be Erdang training, extra online classes, workout classes, training programs. I've been trying to get a bit of everything in there to keep myself on top of my game and make sure I'm ready for going into third year in September. So basically in this video, I thought I'd just have a big roundup summary of my experiences, my thoughts and opinions as I'm coming to the end of my second year at drama school on what my experience has been like on online training. Just before I get into this video, this is not an Erdang specific video. Of course, I do go to Erdang, so that has been my experience, but I'm talking about online training in general. I've done so many live stream classes on Instagram, Facebook live classes. I've done so many workout training programs online. I think that institutions up and down the country that my friends go to, Erdang, so many drama schools that I've heard about, have really been doing all they can to provide us students with the best experience possible. And I just want to talk about my experience of the experience of training online, if that makes sense. I really hope it does. If you have any questions or queries or anything that you feel like I've said doesn't make sense, then please do leave a comment down below. I would love to have a discussion about it and discuss your guys' experiences. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Firstly, I'm going to talk about if you're starting drama school in September. So many of you guys have been messaging me saying that you have places to start drama school in September, which is so exciting, and a massive congratulations to you all. You've all done yourself super proud. You're amazing, and especially if you had to audition online, huge congratulations. And I completely understand why you're all worried because it's such a bizarre situation to be going into starting drama school not knowing if you're going to be there in person, if you're going to be on Zoom, if you're going to be there half and half. And I totally understand your fears. I say I understand them, I sympathize with your fears. I can't understand fully because I'm not in that situation. But the main question that has been coming up again and again on my Instagram DMs and in my Instagram Q&As is, do I defer my place? I'm aware that quite a lot of schools are offering incoming students the option to defer a year to start training in September 2021, when hopefully the world will be back to some kind of normal. And so many of you have been asking, what's your opinion on this, Lucy? Would you defer if you were in this situation? And honestly, it's a really difficult one. It completely depends on your situation. Personally, if I had got into drama school straight out of school, I was 18, I got my place, and this whole situation was happening, there was an uneasy feeling as to if I would be starting in September or not. If I had been in that situation, personally, I think I would have deferred. But obviously, when it comes to deferral, there's so many things that you need to think about. You need to think about your age, you need to think about finances, what are you going to do for the year that you defer, all these kind of things. So personally, I think I would have, but that doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. You need to consider what's right for your situation. I feel like already going back in September, it looks like, fingers crossed, drama school is going to be in a better place than it was expected to be. I think a lot of us feared that we wouldn't even be able to go back in September, but it looks like a lot of schools are going to be able to go back with 50-50 online training and in-person training. Now, if you are doing a 3-year course at drama school, which most courses are, then you're hopefully only going to be online for the first term of first year. So what you need to remember is that you do have a full 3 years. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world if you're online for 1 term, if that makes sense. But again, as I said, it is totally a personal decision. You need to discuss with your family and your guardians and whoever you live with what's going to be right for your situation. Now, what might help you to make this decision is understanding what online training at drama school is really like. So I'm just going to go through the different disciplines and discuss what I think the drawbacks are, how I think that you can make the most of your online training and all these kind of things, and hopefully that should aid in that decision. When it comes to singing lessons, whether this be individual singing or group singing lessons, these are possible online for sure, because you don't need loads of space. You literally just need your camera and a backing track. Of course, singing with a backing track is not ideal. It's better to sing with a live pianist, but it's really not the end of the world. And so many teachers just prefer you to sing sections of your song a cappella because it's easier for them to hear you over the video. And I have found that loads of teachers have found solutions and ways to make sound quality better so they can hear you more effectively. Obviously, if you have a mic, then connect that to your laptop. I have my mic that I use to record singing videos on, and when I have a singing lesson, I often connect my mic to my laptop, and that helps to ensure that the sound quality is as good as it can possibly be. But if you are on it with your material and you're practiced and you've got your backing tracks ready to go for the lesson, then online singing training is totally valid, and I do believe that you can learn just as much on an online lesson as you can in person. Now, moving on to acting. This one is slightly harder because obviously it's basically impossible to do a group scene on Zoom or Google Hangout or whatever, because the delays are often quite bad. People end up talking over each other, and it's very hard to read social cues over a video conference kind of style. I know there are people that have made this work and they've done play readings over Zoom and things like that, so it totally is possible. It's just a completely different experience that you need to adapt to. However, what I think is so valuable when it comes to acting training online is that you can practice so much for acting for camera. So much stuff today is filmed via self-tape, so our acting lessons have actually been so useful because we've been working on how you would practice for a self-tape and how you would film a self-tape, because all of our classes are up close in the camera so the teacher can see our faces, and it's basically just like one big self-tape, if that makes sense. And finally, onto dance. Now, I really think that this is the hardest aspect of online training because it is so space dependent. Of course, it varies depending on the discipline. For ballet, I think it's totally possible online if you've got your kitchen chair and you don't really need massive amounts of space a lot of the time. I know a lot of our classes have been focusing on ballet bar instead of in the center, because if you're at a bar, you really don't need much space. Tap is another one that is hard because I'm sure that your parents, or if you have your own house, you don't want to be ruining your own floors by tapping on it. I have a whole video on how you can make your own tap board for super cheap so that you can keep practicing tap at home. Obviously, again, it's not ideal because you're limited to a small space when usually you'd have a massive studio. The thing with tap that's not ideal is that your teacher can't really be there to correct you. A teacher can't listen to 20 people on a Zoom call all tapping at the same time because they're gonna have no idea where the beats are coming from, if anyone's doing it correctly. So it is very hard to get feedback and criticism and critique in tap. That's really something that I personally don't think is possible. Please correct me if I'm wrong, if your school has found a way to do it, but with tap it is really difficult, especially because of the delay on video calls. And finally, onto something like jazz. This totally varies class to class. Some classes I've done, you barely need any space. Some classes I've done, they've got you traveling across the room thinking that I'm in the Great Hall when I'm really not. So I really think it's so dependent on the class. And also the thing that I think is really not ideal about training at home doing fitness and dance is your joints. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have the luxury of a sprung floor in my house, so I've been dancing and working out on tiles, and I really do feel like my joints are a lot sorer and a lot stiffer than normal. So that is something to really bear in mind, that it is quite taxing on your body to be training on a surface that is not meant to be trained on, if that makes sense. Again, with jazz and ballet, kind of like tap, I think it is very hard to get feedback over a video call. But again, I think schools and teachers are starting to adapt and find new ways of working because it's completely different for all of us. As a student, it's completely different, but we need to remember that it's so different for our teachers as well. So I really hope that this video has made sense and has helped someone out and I've not just rambled. But basically, to sum it all up, yes, online training for drama school is not ideal. We all know that. It's really not the ideal situation. We'd rather be there in the studio with our friends and with the teachers getting the full training experience. But I truly believe that if you are positive, motivated, and just try and make the most out of the situation, then you can still really improve. It's so easy to be like, this is rubbish, I hate this, I'm not going to improve. And if you have that attitude, you're not going to improve. We're all going to have days where we feel like that. I totally have had days where I feel like, I hate this, I just want to be in a studio, this is rubbish, I don't want to be training in my bedroom. But if we have that that attitude all the time, then we're not going to improve. And we just need to remember that this is only going to be for a limited period of time. Yes, we don't know how long that period of time is going to be. It could be 6 months, it could be another 3 weeks, we don't know, but we might as well make the absolute most of it that we possibly can. So yes, that is it for this video. I hope it has helped you guys out. If it has, please do smash a big thumbs up to let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.